following is an unpaid preview for a game seeking funding on Kickstarter. The product seen here is a work in progress and is subject to change during the duration of the project. Hi everyone, I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and welcome to the Kickstarter preview to Pingyao. This is about the Chinese bike. This game is from China, and it's being localized into English. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this game and see what I have to say about it. Pingyao is a dice worker placement game about China's first private banks. You, the player, will manage your banks by building agencies, building up your fame, and of course, making money. There are 8 rounds in the game, and you start with 2 dice, known as managers. At the beginning of each turn, all players roll their dice, place them on the value track that determines the order of the game. Higher dice of greater value act first, and lower dice act last, but will usually have access to more powerful actions. However, no player can take 2 consecutive turns in a round, so another player will go ahead even if a player has a greater value die. For dice placement, you can choose any location. If there's already a die there, even your own, you must pay the bank coins if your die is lower, or gain coins if your die is higher. The value when you place the die is important because it will determine how great the action you will take. So placing in the escort agency, a 5 or 6 die lets you have access to a level 1 agency, but a 1 or 2 die will give you access to the 3rd agency. You do begin with a 6-sided manager and a 4-sided manager known as a Grand Master. It only goes from 1 to 4, but using it will give you a discount when placing it. Ultimately, you're doing a balancing act in the game of making your money to work for you. This is done by moving money around, turning coins into Saichi, and backing Saichi into agencies to generate income. Saichi are these silver ingots that are worth points at the end of the game. So, to get income, you need to buy agencies with coins. Agencies will act as a scoring place for Saichi. It will also give players effects like changing their die or special scoring for points at the end of the game. However, the game is very tight, and so other places will help. At the bank space, you can give out loans with Saichi and collect coins, or taking a remittance card from the West Avenue to move Saichi around to getting a bonus, and pushing yourself up to the remittance chance for more bonuses. And you can go up the fame track to increase your income. On the 3rd round, all players receive an additional 6-sided manager, and the city government and agent spaces will open. Go to the government space to purchase a government tile, which allows the player a unique ability for a cost of Saichi. And you must go to the agent space because you need agents to run your agencies. After 8 rounds, the game ends. The main way points are earned are from the positions on the track, Saichi on the board, and special scoring from agencies. The player with the most points wins. And so that was a quick overview of Pingyao, and here are my initial thoughts of it. First of all, I would say it's a really cool, interesting dice worker placement game. You only get 3 dice throughout the game, and you only begin with 2 of them. And how you place those dice, and what do you roll, and what the decisions that you make throughout the game will be very impactful on how you're going to be winning the game, of course. And I think also it's just that you just get 3 dice, and you just have to work within how you're going to be placing in it. So, I mean, yes, it's going to suck if you have a sucky roll, but you can mitigate that just a little bit, and you can manipulate the dice. And I think manipulations of the dice and getting those specific effects, especially through your agency, is going to be very beneficial for you throughout the game. I think it's something that really helped me trying to win the game. I do like that when everyone gets the roll, you get to see the turn gets splayed out and who gets to go next. And I also do like that the game itself, you don't get consecutive turns, even though it looks like it's laid out that way. But if you do get in the second, so for example, if you get a die that's like on the same spot and you can't take 2 die. It's just part of the rule. You gotta let someone else go, and they might have even a lower die to go first, while you have a bigger die for that. And I do like that trade-off system in there, even though you get like either a low roll or high roll, and sometimes it's I guess you want the lower rolls at the end of the game, while you want the higher rolls at the beginning of the game. But the thing is that you can get some money out of it if you are going to place the die with a higher die, or you can use a better action with those dice if you're going to use a lower die, but you have to pay for those, and you have to manage your money very well in the game. And on top of that, as a worker placement game, it's not something that you land on a place and then that spot becomes taken for the rest of the time. I really don't like that in some games, and some games it works. This one is that it's part of the game that you can move off people on there. So if somebody is on the spot that you want, you can move on there, but you might pay a price. And I know in some worker placement games, when you put a worker down, that's it. That spot cannot be taken or move in any way. It's locked throughout the whole round. In this game, it's interesting because if someone's on the spot, or even yourself is on the spot, you can put a dice there and use it, but you might have to pay for it to the bank, or you might get a benefit of playing a weaker die. The weaker die being the one with a greater value. The one with the lower die may give you a better advantage in the actions, a better, stronger action, but it's kind of cool that way. That like do you want to stay in the middle of the die, like 3 or 4, or do you want to go to a higher level, like 1 or 2, so you can get those interesting and more powerful abilities? And another thing about this game is that it is a very Euro style worker placement game. I think it strongly does implement its own theme into it. This banking system, the banking system, I guess it's easy to put it into a theme, but I think it works so well with it. You do feel like a banker, and that you're trying to put the money into a bank. You're trying to open up these agencies, and you're getting money from interest, from income, and you're taking that money, putting it back in, seeing what it does, making your money work for you. I just love that. Once you get the money, you want to just put it right back and try to get as much out of it, getting points. Everything you do in this game is you want to have something impactful at every action that you want to do. And if you do take the steps in there and you don't have any bad moves in there, I think you're going to have a higher chance of winning as well. And the last thing I'd like to say is, who is this game for? Who's gonna like this kind of game? And I think it's for me a medium heavy worker placement game, especially with the die. Especially you have to do the manipulations of the dice, thinking ahead strategically, your budget, especially budgeting everything. Usually in games, I usually keep my clockwork going at the very end, counting every bit of money. But this one, I kind of right in the beginning of how I'm going to place each die, how I'm going to spend each die, looking in the board, looking what I can do, what can I place, and how can I get the most out of the turn. Because each turn, you only get you get 2 in the first 2 rounds, and the rest of the game, which is the rest of I think the 6 rounds of the game, is that you get just 3 die. So it's a very tight game. The money as well is also tight. So, but it's I won't say it's something that's very forgiving as well, but again, it's not very punishing if you know how to work things out. There is enough room for you to manage if something does not go your own way, and some of the things you can work out in that way. I mean, there's times that somebody took my spot, I may have to spend a bit more money. Oh wait, I don't have enough money anymore because I had to pay for that spot anymore. I need to go somewhere else. And I think there's enough room for everyone. I think there's enough room for this kind of worker placement that if someone does something to you or for the game, I think you can do something else that still can push you forward along the game. And so that was my thoughts on Pingyao. Yes, the game about the first Chinese banks. So, if you're interested in this game, check out the project on the Kickstarter page below and see if this is the game that you like to support. Anyway, I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker. Thanks for checking out this video, and remember to subscribe and check out my other videos as well. So until next time, keep on stacking games. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on board and card games. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and remember to keep on stacking games.